Well, let's head into the Athena ban. I mean, the picks and bans for game number 2 here. FableGG versus Revenge.
This has got to be an Athena ban, right?
There is no, you don't get tooled around. This is even, Athena is always a worthy ban because of what she just did. Confound is just a fantastic ability. We're not even talking about the global rotation ability. After you get beat by a character like that, I don't care if it's top tier or not, you ban it. You just ban it.
Yes.
Like if you got...
Or you pick it for yourself.
Sure.
You don't let the opposition have it.
Yes.
Is the moral of the story.
That is the key. With Revenge in the first selection, I want to see an Athena ban here from Fable.
Fable, I mean, Fable gonna ban it away themselves? Why? Okay, if I'm on Fable, there's no way I ban Athena. Oh wait, no. Revenge had it. Yeah, I'm kidding. It's early on Monday. You ban that Athena. Great ban, Fable. That's exactly what I would have done. Keep up the great work.
I knew you would get there.
I got there.
I knew you would get there.
I thought they were in, like...
Yeah, you thought they were,
like, why would you... Yeah.
But you thought they were, but they were.
They are who we thought they were, basically, is what I'm trying to say. They don't think it'd be like it is, but it
do.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
Serqet going to be the do here for Fable to answer the Achilles. Achilles right now, I love answering execute characters with heals. I would have loved to see a YRNGino pick here.
Yes.
I think he is one of the characters that, because it's burst heal, but it's small, short bursts, so you can always save people away from that execute threshold. Going to go into the Poseidon, however, and then Revenge going to follow up with a Geb selection. How do you like the Serqet Poseidon?
I like it. I think Serqet has great setup for Poseidon. Both of these characters can kind of hold their own weight in the early game. You can decimate any 2v2 with Serqet Poseidon once these characters hit level 5. I think that they work well together overall. Serqet can group multiple people together and set up for that Poseidon whirlpool. Good.
Cerberus, 3-headed doggo here for Fable. Likely to be in the solo lane, but sometimes does flex over there to be in the support position. Discordia banned out by Fable. Really didn't like that choice. And the Odin ban coming out. I like that.
Yeah.
I do want to focus on the oddball ban, so the Cabrakan ban. And then, of course, across the way, we see the Osiris, which I think is oddball these days.
It is, alongside the Xbalanque. Again, it's just these teams clearly very close to one another and understanding what they like to pick.
Yeah.
These are just comfort selections that you want to keep the opposition off of. And you can also bait them. It's like, hey, everyone thinks that, you know, whatever, YRNGino is super good right now.
Sure.
We may as well just pick it. These teams are staying away from that, which it's to some degree I respect. On the other hand, YRNGino is a character good enough that you should learn how to play him at this point. And it is a noteworthy thing. If I'm, say, team rival watching this set and I'm like, these dudes don't know how to play YRNGino. We're just going to first pick that. And we'll last pick it. And we'll just beat them up with it. That's something that you have to be able to at least show that you can play those top-tier gods at any given moment.
Revenge here has a great draft, I think. I think they've got late game in Xbalanque. They've got early and mid game in the Chulainn and the Ra. The Geb will shield everybody no matter what time it is.
Yep.
And the Achilles there to play cleanup. I think Revenge have a lot of their holes covered, and they're going to be able to play whack-a-mole really well. Fable finishing off with the Terra. Never upset about a Terra, but I feel like they lack late game prowess.
They do. They definitely do. Their late game is kind of have to be carried by these two Guardians. That's what you're really looking for. The thing that I like about Fable's draft, though, we were criticizing the low CC that they had in last game. Not this time. This is a ton of CC that Revenge could really struggle with.
Even with the soft CC by way of the crippled whirlpool. Ton of choices for Fable. Let's see if they can cripple their opposition out from winning another game and stretch us to a third game. Should be interesting. I'm looking at Gino here. Gino had such a great game on the Jingwei, and then giving him Xbalanque is a scary choice. And Revenge, I think this Hunter is great at what he did, and I expect to see much of the same.
May as well go to something that feels even stronger in a lot of ways. Different play styles for sure, but Revenge still has a god that can affect the map globally, which Zen did a beautiful job with the Athena in game 1.
What it was for me is and admittedly, I haven't watched hours and hours and hours of tape of Gino like I have some of these other players. Watching him on the Jingwei, there are multiple ways to play every character, right? And Jingwei can be really slippery, and she can use her self knock-up and the dash and the ultimate to be this sort of like, I'm over here, I'm over there, this slippery sort of character. Or you can just hit explosive bolts and shoot people in the brain, and that's really what I saw was the latter. And I think that playstyle transfers over to Xbalanque really, really strong. you're going to use the ultimate and your Rising Jaguar to get out of some trouble. But at the end of the day, you're spitting darts and you're throwing bolas at people point blank. So I like this aggressive choice for Gino. He's going to look to build up that passive nice and early and just try to push people down. And
if he can control a lane with the Xbalanque as well as he did with the Jingwei, then Fable's in for a lot of trouble, because Ullr versus Xbal is about as lopsided as it can get for early game for the Ullr and late game for the Xbalanque, where you really expect Davey to have control of this lane. But I think it was fair to say that he had an opportunity to control the lane against Jingwei as well. Xbal versus Jingwei, they have fairly similar lane clear abilities that don't really clear the wave very well, but do it about the same rate. And that was all Gino all day last game. So if that trend continues here with the Xbal versus the Ullr, Fable's in a lot of trouble.
Got to keep that one on the front of the mind for sure. XuenMushh here on the Geb this time around instead of the Athena. You want to talk about different, this duo lane is very interesting. I think the Xbalanque player went with the same mentality as game number 1, and the Geb player going for quite the opposite. Athena last game used that taunt aggressively, almost every single time for setup. Wasn't really peeling. Now on the Geb, it's the opposite mentality. Gotta be peeling. Gino needs some help right now. He's gonna get stunned out. The body block's not good enough. XuenMushh not gonna be able to stop. As Davey now turning onto the Geb. Xbalanque survives, but XuenMushh in some trouble. Davey, 1108 are the numbers in his name, and 1 is the number in his kill column. And 1108 stands for the amount of times he taunts after he gets a kill.
That's, you know what? The console scene is always different. I, at some level, respect the ability to get hard-bodied in game 1, get a first blood in game 2, as actually Gino uses the beads there in response to that nice stun from Killy.
Don't let my tone deceive you. I liked it.
And then turn away and then turn around and use the taunt right away for getting first blood. That is a very F-dot thing to do. Like if you and Finch had done another draft on Esports Weekly and yours had won, you would have definitely talked a bunch of stuff despite getting absolutely embarrassed in the first draft.
Depending on how... It's a 3-game set, I would assume, right? And so if I lose game number 1 and I win...
Which you did.
I did. I lost it miserably.
Yes, you did.
And I win game number 2. I talk a little bit of poop. Just a little bit. Like a side salad. And then I give him the full Caesar for game number 3. That means a stab in the back, like weaken.
Wow. Okay. That well, we should have done a best of 3 then, because I wanted to see that all happen.
We'll have to do it next week.
So next week is game 2.
Sure.
And then 2 weeks from now it would be game 3. What if you lose game 2 though? What do we do for week 3?
I mean, then we start over.
We just replay.
Yeah. I was very upset. So for those of you that didn't join us, first of all, what's wrong with you? Second of all, 10 a.m. every Monday, Esports Weekly. Aggro runs the show, does a great job for once in his life at something. Him and the other 2 commentators, Taco and Hindu Man, they get to give us their predictions. We get to laugh at them when they're wrong. And then, you know,
highest win rate right here.
Yeah, you're doing it.
Of course.
Yeah. You got to be good at one thing.
You just said I was good at one thing.
Esports Weekly is your one thing.
Right, but this is something different in Esports Weekly. Does it just permeate through all of it?
Yeah, you're good at Esports Weekly.
Okay, I'll take it.
So for an hour every Monday, you're good at something.
Nice, dude. You guys better tune in then, because you don't get to see that very often.
YRNGino.
I think that's actually what it stands for.
Fight his way out of the poorhouse. Davey, on the other hand, certainly feeling good here in game number 2. XuenMushh, though, a lot of poke. And I had brought this up as a neutral point. The fact that he's playing a very different style character than he did in game number 1. But after watching this lane go, I think it might be a negative point. His positioning is very aggressive, and I think he's taking a lot of poke that he might not have to.
He is, and it definitely is a different playstyle setup, right? Because overall, Athena and Jingwei have a much better chance at winning a lane than Geb Xbal. But to be fair, Geb Xbalanque is like your worst chance to ever win a lane. These are 2 very, very low clear gods in their respective roles. And so Revenge kind of has to understand that they're cool losing the early game. They're cool just kind of chilling out and waiting for a little bit. because if you don't, if you try and play aggressive in that lane, you're going to get killed a lot.
Yeah.
And that's already happened once, and now Revenge has to be worried about that for the next 8 levels, basically, until they're out of the laning phase and into the team fighting phase, where those gods should be doing much, much more in the team fight phase. Fable needs to get more than just one first blood in this left side. It has to be red buff invades, purple buff invades, consistent pressure on that dual lane side. Let's get some gold furies for the squad, you know, things like that.
So, well, mid lane, ouchie. Ling kills him with the blind. That one, that's a swag play.
There's actually 2 blinds on Revenge here, and if you time it right, you can actually illuminate people's screens with your raw blind, because it blinds you by being too bright, whereas Gino's blinds you by being too dark. Anti-synergy.
I wish you could see Ryan's face right now, because I can't. I refuse to look at him after that bit. He's putting his face in my face right now.
Hi, Tom.
Oh, ChronicThe Bros trying to deal with Gnome. Very quiet. Gnome? Ryan, has Gnome taken a step away, or did he kind of come down to some of these lower-end teams after RvL disbanded?
Unfortunately, I'm not super familiar with what Gnome has done so far with himself in Season 5, if he did take a step away or if he's been down here the whole time.
My point is he's been very quiet in Game 1 and Game 2.
He had some big cages in Game 1, and that's, you know, he's not going to be the dude on Odin. That's especially in the solo lane. You don't expect him to be the guy. Now, in this game with the Chulainn, I think it's much more likely that we can expect some more from him on this Chulainn pick, that his rotations in the team fight should be one of the things that can sway away that early game duo lane from Fable and be the determining factor to set Revenge up for success in the late game.
Yeah, maybe I should check myself on that. He definitely had a huge impact.
You don't want to wreck yourself.
He definitely had a huge impact on that Odin, so I think I'll rectify that statement. He had the big rings. It's a different style, though. Gnome used to always bring out the hyper-aggressive Chulainns and things like that, so I guess that's what it is. It's my expectation is looking for these giant just pushes and big boy plays, and the Odin was there, but much more utility than we're used to seeing.
Well, when Gnome was at his peak, right, on that RvL squad, that was when RvL was still dominating everyone in Europe, and no one was even close, so Gnome was playing 2-3 levels ahead of the opposition, and he kind of got it to make it look easy against a lot of people because his team was doing so well all the time. That's not to take anything away from his own individual skill. Everyone on that RvL squad got their stats boosted up because everyone else was also good on that RvL squad. And so I don't know that you can expect Gnome to be the hard carry of every game, but I think that you can trust him to do his job, and that's really all you need to do at a competitive level.
And if anything, that's a positive if you're a fan of Gnome. I think, is that a lot of times you do see players that, you know, sort of get, I don't want to say carried, but have an easier time right now. Getting squashed in the mid lane is going to be Waldrom. Sorry, buddy. Discordia not able to find enough chaos there. Left side, though, Gino falls down to Davey mid-rotation.
Auzrik was there as well. That's big. So you trade out your ADC for the enemy mid laner. Mango's still lurking here, still has that execute available, and he's looking for killing.
Meanwhile, there's the last breath on top of Mango, who accidentally gets the kill, trying to escape, walks right into an execute target. Zig left, Zig right.
I was supposed to be immortal.
And not quite there, buddy. Davey, make sure you're not immortal on the second half of the double kill.
Ling able to juke out just about everything in the mid lane there. Love that play for Mango, though. I think he was looking to chain executes together in that spot and somehow split the uprights and found the execute onto Achilles, but then just couldn't quite track down Auzrik in what is usually the hardest part of getting those Achilles, playing Achilles in general, is trying to waterfall those executes together.
We all want to be P-Bay.
We all want to be P-Bay, except actually hit the last one.
Shout-outs to the international scene. The stolen Penta. Although, is that a steal if you miss it?
No, he had his opportunity.
Yeah. You sit there and
you have to make him learn.
Yeah. You sit there
P-Bay, you had it.
He didn't Vedium. He didn't clout it.
No, he did not.
Vedium, now named Clout. Seven kills. Fable would form them. They won game. Revenge won game number 1. Looking to continue that. Achilles here, cut down about 60%, a little bit higher. Meanwhile, the ultimate from the rotating Cerberus lines 2 players up. There's the Geb, there's the Ra. Ling comes through again. Fantastic mid lane play from Revenge.
Chronic now in a bunch of trouble. Ling's completely out of mana here, but Mango can take care of it all by himself. Gnome will get that kill, but Davey coming from all the way from dual lane gets himself a double kill.
Geb, oh man, I like the idea from XuenMushh there. He's gonna fall down to Auzrik right quick. I like the idea from XuenMushh. His plan was to stay over the wall and not die. I don't know what Gino's doing here. Looking to clean up. Ryan, I don't know about that stay.
Well, a D aside for Fable. Don't know about that stay from XuenMushh or from Gino, but it ends up working out pretty nicely for Davey. Davey, by the way, I was looking for more from him after game 1. It was important for him to get off to a lead in this game with the Ullr, and man, has he done that. The dude is 7-0 right now. Yeah. That early rotation, that's how you utilize better wave clear. It doesn't get you enough to just clear the wave first and you get a medal for it. It's all about making that rotation, being an impact elsewhere on the map because Gino just can't keep up with you, and that was beautiful. Davey, perfect.
Now, part of that, I think, is being enabled by the character, right? He's able to do what he's doing right now, not because not in one-dimensional conversation, Ullr's good, LOL. More because the matchup in the lane is really strong, and this character really hits his stride in this early mid-game, and now he's making himself known. But it's the pilot that chooses to make those rotations. I've said a lot here with respect to the jungle position, but I think it's true about anybody making rotations that your decision making is more important than the buttons you're pressing.
Of course.
I've seen low-end games where players go 5-0-5 and are having a bad game because they're getting the kills in the wrong spot. And 7-0-1 here from Davey. The kills are in the right spot. The intelligence, the rotations are there. Fable are really making an answer for game number 1, I feel.
And Revenge is kind of looking towards Ling, I think, to do a little bit more so far in these team fights. I mean, he's got less damage than the Geb. Now, so does Waldrom, so it's kind of even, I suppose, between these two mid laners. But Ling in the last game combined with XuenMushh so well consistently, and there he did in that team fight with a beautiful snipe off the Cataclysm. It obliterated Waldrom, but that's still only one target instead of hitting multiple members with the taunt whirlpool combos.
Just like the Gold Fury being attacked by Fable. Likely finished here as well. Nice job. Revenge shows up a little bit too late now.
Oh, Davey.
Oh, Davey going for it. The ultimate off the mark from Ling. Won't find it. Now, Mango trying to deal, and deal he will. Just like the conversation we had about Ullr being ready for this moment because of the way the character and the build is gone, I think you got to look at where Ling was last game and where he is this game. Both characters, Ra and Poseidon, I think do a good job of making themselves known in the early game. But remember how we high-fived over the Poseidon build? It was pen boots into raw penetration, and you're hitting for true damage then. And then follow up with Shaman's Ring, and you're sitting there with 3 items just giving everybody the business. He has 26 stacks on Warlock Step. The last team fight we saw him in where everybody got decided, he had 15 stacks on Warlock Step. The biggest difference here, Ryan, is the build path. Ling can't make the impact that he did on the Poseidon at 13 minutes. With that said, once this is stacked, he gets another item, I think then we really see the pain.
Yeah, that's a good point, that his build is definitely built to start slower than he did in game number 1. But still, I mean, I'm looking even that last team fight where Davey jumps up and over the wall, he aims it to the right. And I make a lot of jokes about zoning ultimates, but there is something to be said for using your ultimate to force people back into your team. If Ling aims his Searing Pain to the left, not that Davey knows where he's aiming it, but you're either hitting Davey or he's going towards your team. There, Ling is cutting off the only escape route. He's leaving open an easy route out of that team fight. And that's something that I don't think that, you know, that's something that I was kind of expecting a little bit more from him after how well he played game 1.
Well, there's a Kraken across the way. Ling trying to play on the outside. Lined up and shot down. Double hit for the long-range mage. Gnome finishes off Waldrom off of the back of LingXiaoWho.
Killy very low. Ling can't find the 1 beam, but still looking for the kill. A gets a little bit early. Killy dashes through and is out of there. No way. Zen trying to chase him down. Killy's stun not going to matter. Finally, Shockwave takes care of the enemy Guardian, but that opened the door for Mango to fall to Auzrik.
I mean, the ability Killy, I thought Killy was going to get out of there. Gnome thought he was going to get out of there. Taunt's good enough. The jump on top. One more basic will do it, but I was going to say Chronic can't catch up. Davy's there. Chronic does find the kibbles. And Fable will look for the Pyromancer. That Revenge had just started. So, quarter of an hour in here. Fable already up about 3,000, 4,500 gold right now, right, guy?
Looking really, really solid thus far. That time, Gino doesn't come over to that side at all. Instead, 6 in lane, and I honestly think that's the better idea right now for Revenge's ADC because he was really lacking in the Devourer's Gauntlet stacks, and he's just not going to be effective without them. Now he's finished stacking it. He's got the Executioner. Now he's hitting level 14, so he's a little bit ahead of the enemy mid laner. You know, he's even now or close to it with the enemy solo, so he can do actual relevant damage in these team fights. Next time, though, rotation happens, Gino needs to be there. I don't have a problem with him sticking it out that time and just saying, good luck, hope we do better. And they were doing better off the beginning. If Ling is able to confirm that kill onto Killy and not force XuenMushh to go and chase it down, and there's certainly an argument to be made that it's more, you know, it's better to just let the support go and try and save your team instead.
Sure.
But either way, if that kill is just confirmed, then XuenMushh is able to peel. Maybe Mango doesn't fall. Maybe Gnome doesn't fall. It's a tough situation now for Revenge.
The decision tree is what makes this game so difficult. You only have 4 abilities.
Smite is always a choose-your-own-adventure book.
Yeah, it really is. It's man, those are the fun moments. Is like, well, this might not be fun for Revenge. 4 players coalescing on 2. XuenMushh gets hit with a stun. He gets hit with the burst. He gets hit with the combo, but he's gonna get hit with the escape. Revenge support able to get on out of there.
So Chronic leaves XuenMushh in place after using that Stygian Torment because the Whirlpool was there from Waldrom, but it just wasn't enough damage. Instead of just turning him around and putting him into the team and giving XuenMushh a free initiation, I think that's what Chronic was worried about, but Fable just didn't have the damage to bring him down as it was.
Love Revenge de-warding that left side. Not going to get flanked this time. If Fable want this tower, they're going to have to come right up front, and Link's waiting with the shotgun. Davey, however, answers back. Nice ultimate coming out from XuenMushh. Chronic has a jump on backwards. 4-on-4 here in the middle lane. No mage for Fable. No jungle for Revenge.
Where is the beads from Waldrom? He's been comboed off of CC by Ling every team fight so far. And I don't know that he's used his purification beads once. I mean, that was a knock-up from Chulainn. You want to talk about telegraphed? I mean, that should be an easy beats.
Well, there's Chronic coming right on in here with the blink. Has to jump on out after taking the tower. Tower, by the way, still extremely healthy. 75% or so. Gnome gets stunned, doesn't care. Actually heals up more health than had he not been stunned.
Ling's got enough power at this point where that's a possibility. And I don't know how much I like this call from Fable. Waldrom's still coming back from base, and Ling has that ultimate already. Mango's on the way back, though he's electing to go for his own speed buff because, you know, that's a more important objective than Gold Fury.
I wholeheartedly agree. Gnome taunted, zigged, jumped away. Was the Serqet. I like that choice. One of the downsides to Last Breath is sticking on the target. You're lining yourself up. You're crowd controlling yourself for the enemy mid laner. So I like the fact that Auzrik didn't full commit. P.S. You're not killing them.
Gold Fury, half reset, half reset. And look at Mango. He's just like, I'm not messing with this, dudes. I don't think they're gonna actually get. This is basically Mango calling Fable's bluff, saying I'm gonna at least do something with my time instead of just standing around here and watching you guys reset Gold Fury 5 times.
Tier 1 tower going down to Revenge's Achilles player. Nice and easy. He's going to get something. Fable, now seeing it, going to force the Gold Fury and leash it one more time. Pick it up again, 60%, 50, and the leash is good. Tier 1 tower still stands as Auzrik did go to answer it. Taunt on top, there's the ultimate. Now Mango in some trouble. Aegis will save his life.
Mango can sustain up easily, though, with help from Ling, and Auzrik there uses the auto attack after just 2 poisons being applied instead of waiting until the ultimate, applying all 3, though Mango likely would have just Aegis'd it. Doesn't end up mattering in the end. It's just that if Auzrik is able to find the full combo and then use the auto attack, Mango dies even with use of that Aegis. It's just critical that he hits that auto attack, which isn't always as easy as it feels like.
That's the we always talk about Serqet being incredibly high skill ceiling to play. And sure, Cobra's Kiss is a short-range ability with small projectiles that's tough to hit, but really what we're talking about is the ability to weave that basic attack in, but only after 2 abilities because you want to maximize your passive. There's a lot of small nuances to the Serqet clear. Gold Fury. Well, just going to be cleared. XuenMushh showing up a little bit too late. Ooh. And Fable able to take that one nice and easy. Revenge now, looking for their namesake. XuenMushh going to be stunned out, and that's a turnaround and a retreat from Revenge. They find themselves down 3,000.
ChronicThe, Stygian Torment, probably a little bit too late, honestly. He let Ling actually walk past him a little bit, and I think if Ling uses Searing Pain right as he's getting ulted by ChronicThe, he probably could have not only had not used the beads, but also stolen away that Gold Fury, but instead Ling kind of floated up, had to use both relics upon landing, and Gold Fury goes Fable's way.
Well, the Tier 1 tower, remember all that work that Mango did earlier? Well, guess what? Here he is again, and the team just needs 2 shots from a Hunter, if 2, to topple the Tier 1 tower in the middle lane. Fable defending it as they should. And nobody really going to be able to filter in there. But hey, Mango doing the same thing he did last time with the split push, but I think his team would like him here for the team fight. The last time he was split pushing was because there was a bunch of hurry up and wait. There wasn't anything happening. Right now, Ryan, it looks like something's happening.
Tier 1 tower likely to go down now on Revenge's side of the map. Fable will finally secure themselves 500 gold. Mango continues to get himself a lot of farm on that right side, though. Multiple waves. Believe he stole blue buff away as well, but not going to be able to get the Tier 2, which is really what he wanted.
Yeah, Auzrik there. That scared me. I just like got really... I'm sitting there like, do you see the Serqet? Do you see the rest of the team? Mango tossed up, ulted 1. Here comes help though. Geb's gonna find a knock-up. Turn around, Kraken will see you later. Reformed Mango in a bad spot. XuenMushh in trouble as well. The chase is on. Terra body blocks her own teammates. But the breath gets 1 and the axe gets another. Gnome gonna Hulk out and take 1 with him. But the damage was done by Fable here this time, Ryan. 3 for 1.
Mango baits his entire team into dying in that spot because he's just too far pushed up on that right side. It's not good enough to just start backing up as soon as they clear the enemy Tier 1. You have to start backing before that if you want to get it off, because of course Auzrik will be on his way. That's just a little bit of greediness, I think, from Mango to go for an extra wave on that right side. And he ends up not only him getting punished, but the entirety of Revenge gets punished for it.
Mid lane, or excuse me, the right side. Fable now capitalizing off of the misdeeds from Mango. Not quite clear if they're going to be able to get this one. Low are the HP bars of both ChronicThe Bros and Achilles. But still forcing the issue, as Tony would say. Tier 2 tower does go down. ChronicThe and Achilles very unhealthy. But Revenge not really going for it. There's the sprint, and it seems like they'll go for it after the fact. No, trying to hunt him down, and he won't be able to.
Nice shield. Gets his solo laner out of that Stygian Torment, and eventually Gnome is able to set up the kill for Gino. And Fable definitely overstayed. Now they're going to get punished for it. I think I'm pulling Fire Giant now if I'm on Revenge. Instead of Pyromancer, you just bought Fable time to go back to base and try and get back to this FG.
Pyromancer has been a bit of a noob trap. I'm not calling Revenge noobs, but I think that it has been a little bit of a appealing choice when not exactly. That said, Revenge doesn't suffer for it. Auzrik up, down, up, and way down. Number 12. Revenge puts up a dozen as they try to find their comeback here in game number 2.
Man, individual plays and even team plays are great in Smite, and it ends up getting you a big lead oftentimes. You can do a lot of stuff with it. But at the end of the day, shot calling is always what wins and loses games.
Oh, yeah.
Almost certainly. There are very few instances where individual plays trump shot calling. And in that spot, Fable is off to a great lead because Davies had a great individual game. And I really feel that it was all Davey that got Fable their lead. But the shot call to push that Tier 2 just sticks around way too long alongside his 2 tanks. Fable lose 1 for it, and then a clean Pyromancer into Fire Giant. Revenge understand their damage even better than I did there. Get the Fire Giant faster than I think that Fable thought was possible faster than I thought was possible. And now Revenge is going to be able to just clean up tier 2 towers in mid and right, get themselves a nice little gold lead, pick up a gold Fury, and then be in a great spot to win this game. Fable just too aggressive.
Revenge playing aggressive this time. Meanwhile, ChronicThe Bro is going to jump to the back line. Gnome is going to take the tower while the tower is being taken care of. Gnome falls down. ChronicThe Bros with a good kill. Mango in trouble, half HP. Now Gino in more trouble, 0 HP if the Hunter has his way, but he does not. The Geb comes through, the lifesteal comes through. Gino making money. Looking for Killy, Auzrik here. Aegis is good to keep Mango alive. Gino still here, gotta look for his left. Mango gets the left-hand side, right side is Auzrik. Gino on the aggressive, slow and strong. Basics, he can't find them, aggro. He can't find them. Gino, unstoppable. Saves himself and gets help from the support. Got to give it up to XuenMushh as well.
Yes.
But the steadfast mentality to turn and fight instead of turn and run. The combination shield and the lifesteal keeps Gino alive. One without the other would not have worked.
Beautiful. Beautiful from Revenge. And this is what we were talking about, even going back all the way to the draft. The late game for Fable just isn't there.
Nope.
They've got great control from their Guardians, and that's where their late game is better. Is that they've got 2 great frontliners, but Gino is going to struggle during the early game, and he did. And Davey should excel during the early game, and boy did he, even more than I think is fair to expect.
7-0-1 in the first couple of minutes.
Incredible. But when push comes to shove at 26 minutes, Ullr's not going to beat Xball.
Not
when you've got a Geb shield on top of it. And that was just big damage numbers coming from Gino that contributes to that, and that's character-based.
Yes.
That is using the passive. That is going for the crit that can enhance that. It's just that you get 50 extra damage for every auto attack, as Branching Bowl is a nutty ability. Like, you just get more by playing Xball in the late game, and Davey felt that there.
And that brings me to my next point, that you had a great monologue talking about how shot calling trumps good play, just strong button pressing most of the time. And you said something in there that I thought was key, which I think is a part of shot calling, but understanding the game that you're playing specifically. Because every hand you're dealt, every draft is different. There are 21,000 different variables. I'm slightly exaggerating, but slightly so, in every MOBA game. And Revenge right now, shot calling, understanding the damage. Xbalanque, they chose to fight when these characters came online.
You're probably underselling, honestly, at 21,000, to be real. Tier 2 tower falls, and here goes the push forward. Gnome is looking for something. Ling only finds Chronic with that snipe, but Killy gets executed by Mango.
Good job from Mango so far. Auzrik could be next. Dash into the wall. Nice jump from the Serqet. Barely able to get over that wall, by the way.
Gino very low, but again, this is where he wants to be. Life stealing, getting healed up by Ling and putting out big damage numbers onto Chronic. Right side Phoenix is toast.
2-2-11 for the Xbalanque. And this is why one of the things that grind my gears the most about newer fans and players are when they sit there and go, you're 2-2, shut up, Xbalanque. The 11 assists, he's #1 in the player damage on his team.
To be fair, he does get assists by pressing 4.
That is fair, and I was sure, but that's not where these assists came from. These assists came from him being a part of these team fights, finding the slows, being a great part of the team. You don't need to get the last hit to impress this analyst. I think he's having a tremendous game on this choice.
It's where you, in those games where, you know, your teammates are like, nice job, Xball, you're 2-2, whatever. That's where you go, press T, you fine person.
You penguin?
No, you compliment.
Yeah?
I wouldn't consider penguin a compliment.
Really?
If you were, okay, so.
What kind? Well, it depends on what kind of penguin you're referencing. I would love to be an emperor penguin.
That's obviously the best one.
Or the horned penguin, I think, is the best.
No way. Miss me with that.
No,
what about the macaroni penguin?
It's not macaroni penguin, but I know the one you're talking about. They like warmer climates, so that would work out. But I think the crowned penguin, that's the one with the red and yellow. It's really nice looking.
No, I don't like that one that much.
How don't you like the crowned penguin?
It's like all right, I guess.
Yo,
if you were like, press T, you. Here's my favorite penguin. Press T, you Sidney Crosby. I'd be like, hey, thanks, dude. I'll do that. And then I press T, and I'm like, this is you're doing a lot of damage, and you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work, friend.
Yin's got to stop.
I wore my Yin's shirt yesterday.
In case you guys didn't know, Aggro, a proud Pittsburgh person, one of 2.
That's actually probably accurate. Go Stillers.
30 minutes, half hour. This has been a whole fright fest for Fable. Revenge able to fight back into this one. ChronicThe bros trying to blaze forward, but Fable not able to keep up. Ling turns out the lights on the Cerberus.
And this is where this team comp for Revenge is just too much, I think, for Fable to handle. Chronic gets a decent ultimate, but the follow-up just isn't there to bring down Gnome.
Not quite. Left side Phoenix about to fall, but Gnome falls first. Auzrik trying to do what he can, 1 for 1 so far. Killy gets hit up by the Gino. Dashing forward. Aegis is good for the moment, but Poseidon gets off on the bottom side. Reformed, kicks him out.
Auzrik just able to get towards the fountain, but Revenge not interested in the mid Phoenix. Instead, they'll take game number 2 and the set 2-0 up against Fable in an impressive performance. Fable was the team that came to land alongside a rival, but that was pretty convincing in my mind that Revenge is just the better team right now.
Revenge looked really strong, finishing it off. Blackjack 21 in the kill department, but lights on for Revenge. Game 1, game 2, everything just seemed according to plan for them, which is really, really, really interesting because you go into a game with the plan. Sure. All right, we're going to taunt into Kraken, and they're going to die every time. And that's never how it works.
Yeah.
Except for this time. And they go, all right, we're going to get beat up by Ullr early, but then we're going to spank him with Xbalanque and a late game Ra. And that's exactly what happened. They just got exactly what they signed up for. What more can you ask?
And it's 2 different plans. That's the impressive part, right? They don't win, you know, it's like, oh, we just take this pick away, or we just worry about this play style, and Revenge has got nothing.
Right.
That's not really the case now. You've got to worry about, well, okay, if XuenMushh gets Athena, what is Ling going to play, and how are we going to deal with that? Are we really going to let Gino take a late game Hunter, and then we have to win early, and we have to win by a lot early, by the way, because remember, Fable was winning early.
Yeah.
Just they make
a lot early.
By a lot early, they just make one small mistake, and all of a sudden, Revenge never looks back. So this is a team that's impressed me thus far, for sure.
And I want to say that I'm not surprised, but I'll be honest, I wasn't sure how Auzrik was going to fare after the fact. And watching him here on Fable, I'm kind of hoping that he can sort of find that group and that unit, because what he did with the now rival team was really impressive. So I saw moments, and I think that's always been Auzrik's sort of thing, where you see moments of the greatness. But I feel like Auzrik is sitting here trying to get he's trying to be the hero. And really what I want is just one other player on a squad that Auzrik is on to allow him to do some of the heavy lifting, but not all of it.
I thought Davey was the best player on Fable that set. Struggled in game 1, for sure. But in game 2, his individual performance was the only reason I thought that Fable was ahead.
I'll agree.
I'm looking at Waldrom. I mean, he had a rough set overall. Ling absolutely outshined him in the mid lane, and he's got to step it up. And often mid-jungle synergy. You're looking for more from Auzrik. I'm looking for more from Waldrom.
A lot of fun stuff happening here. And, you know, across the way, I think Ling, it's interesting. You said Waldrom kind of paled in comparison to Ling. I think that's all Ling, baby.
Yeah. I mean, Ling made great plays. Waldrom misplayed sometimes. So a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
This is one of the first times I've actually gotten to see Ling play. Real quick, what's your letter grade for the mid laner here?
I would give him game 1 A+. Game 2, the early game was a little bit weak, but I think it was kind of their comp dependent. I'm giving him an A- for game 2. That's an A overall if you average them together.
Nice job, Aggro. We're right back with some more Smite Console League.